listening to an old Love Line where they had Daryl Hammond as their as their guest. My God, that guy can do a good impression.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't he like Trump before they started doing like current Trump before Alec Baldwin stepped in?
He's not dead. Also,
why did I think he died? I guess he just retired.
Also, he's been the announcer since 2014.
Oh, since Don Pardo?
Probably because he does an impression of him.
Yes.
He also kind of looks like the guy who plays the Blacklist.
Say anything. No. John Cusack. No.
Red Buttons.
Dennis Quaid. No.
No.
Kevin Spacey.
No, the guy from
Kevin Spacey.
Robert California.
Kevin Spacey.
That's not Robert California.
Oh, Stargate. Dennis Quaid.
He plays
Brent Spiner.
California. Close. Very close. Very close.
BJ Novak.
No, it's a B and it's not Spiner, but Spader. James Spader.
Thank you, boom. God. Jesus Christ.
There you go.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there is Brandon.
That's me.
Oh, are you done? You can find us online at namely90s.com, which, by the way, I did try to add a contact form, and I got defeated and just gave up. Oh. Anyway, you also find the show on Instagram at Namely90s. And if you'd like to watch us on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/@Namely90s every Monday. And finally, if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Namely90s and get signed up for one of our lovely support levels.
You tried to add a contact form, but you still haven't added fans at namely90s.com for the email that I asked for like 3 years ago.
Did you ask for that?
I did.
Oh,
technically, it was probably just 2.5 years ago.
Do you just want it to forward to the main Gmail?
Probably, but you know, since we don't like to give that out.
Yeah, I could probably do that. Sorry about that. But no, the contact form is well underway. So in another 3 years, it should be good to go.
Well, we did just wish our friends over at the Insanely Dangerous Pod show happy 3-year anniversary. Clearly, they had a very long show. They talked about Wham for nearly 2 hours. So can't blame them that they didn't actually react to our message. They just put it in probably without listening because
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
We said some very naughty things over there. And I'm sure they appreciated listening back to that and hearing it. Yes. So, yeah, if you have social media and you'd like to say congratulations to Gaz and Dange over at TIDRP, I believe you can find them on X still and over on Threads and Instagram.
There you go. Yeah, happy 3 years.
Happy 3 years,
both,
guys.
The podcast and romantically. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they've been mates longer than that. Get it? Because it means different things.
Yeah, I get it.
Englishes. Yep.
So air travel. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And how about that airplane food?
No, I haven't gone on an airplane in a while, so I don't have much bitching to do about that specifically.
Have you noticed including this episode, the last 3 episodes, we've been very bad at making small talk.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from because it's not like we talk all the time. I mean, Mostly we just send each other offensive like memes throughout the week and then talk about when we're going to record. And then when it's time, does it just mean there's nothing going on in our lives?
Maybe. Or, we do that thing that guys our age and older do where we don't talk more about our feelings and stuff like that. We just
true.
Be bros and send humorous bro things back and forth. I'm just saying
it's
that
really more of a defense mechanism than anything,
or a place for at times it's just a place for us to vent about the idiocy that's happening to us in the world.
The thing that I appreciate is it's like you need an outlet somewhere sometimes to just complain about something. Yep. I feel like I have that with you. It's great.
Right back at you.
Because like any reasonable person I would complain about this stuff to would A, think I was like insane and B, just think I was petty, both of which I probably am. I mean, not to like diminish actual mental illness, but no one should spend this much time complaining.
Right. I thought your B was going to be A, try to rationalize the other person to you or try to solve your problem, which you don't need solved. It's just,
I'm just glad I have an outlet for it because if I didn't, I'd be like a pressure cooker about to burst.
Yes. And this is the one where this is the episode that Kayla's now going to listen to and be like,
no, this is the episode that the FBI is going to use in evidence.
Yes. to subpoena our text messages.
Yes.
Yes. Or the episode that my girlfriend listens to. Hi. And then gets jealous of the fact that we communicate almost as often as.
Yeah, but turns out the significant other typically doesn't want to hear you bitch and moan all day.
Oh, good.
I mean, to an extent, but not anymore.
I'm not sure my significant other even knows that I bitch and moan to the extent that I do.
I sent her what I said about Taylor Swift like 10 years ago, and she just corrected a spelling mistake. That was her response.
I love that.
I mean, like,
how did I miss that?
Parts of what I said were pretty spot on. I felt quite validated by that. It was just funny to read something written in 2009. Oh, more than 10 years ago. And it was fairly right.
Place where people can go search and cancel you for.
I'm not telling them where to find it. I'm just saying it was there. So plus anonymity, man.
I thought that was a Facebook post.
No.
Oh. Anyway.
That's 6 minutes down. What else?
Actually, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. But what else? Going to Vegas next week.
Vegas!
I had this terrible realization because it's the 20th anniversary of Death Cab for Cutie's Transatlanticism album and the Postal Service's like self-titled album, which came out when we were freshmen in high school. So that means 20 years ago, we were freshmen in high school.
Oof.
Isn't that fun?
Oof. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I was like, huh. Getting too old for this stuff. Yeah, 20 years. Wow.
Yeah, I bought it reminds me, I bought us being old. That reminded me that
we bought some Lipitor.
No, I bought oh my God.
Bright red sports car.
Sentences, words, an Alienware laptop for gaming, but it's like a refurbished one. I got a screaming good deal on it. Came a week ago. I was excited. Haven't touched it once.
Yeah, wouldn't think you had.
The point of getting it is if I'm going to be living somewhere temporarily, but I still want to be able to have the ability to do something and have a powerful computer, but not have to move my giant setup that I have here.
Yes.
So that's what I got.
Cool.
But the fact that I just haven't even touched it.
And since it's been a week since you received it, it's now completely obsolete.
Indeed.
I'm surprised you didn't get like a Steam Deck or something. Then you could play on the plane as well. Well, I guess you can with the laptop.
Yeah, you could. You just couldn't do it online, I guess.
On the plane.
Correct.
Yes. Steam Deck connects to the Wi-Fi. Anyway.
Yeah, but the Wi-Fi sucks.
Right. Not on the plane. I mean, in general.
Okay, your latency is 900 seconds.
Oh, mine is?
No, I'm just saying on the plane.
Gotcha. Well, in the future, everything's going to be with Elon Musk's whatever satellite system, whatever. I don't care.
Starlink. Yeah.
Thank you.
That
Good
job.
Call. That's the one. Well, apparently we're not good at filling the 10 minutes to start the episode anymore. We should just retire and go play pickleball.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Let's just get the show on the road. How do you think? It's been 9 minutes, so.
Hopefully we had a long enough intro that it covers the 1 minute 30-second gap.
Hopefully it's long enough. That's what she said. Heyo.
And we've regressed. I think we decided just today that we are going to be doing the fourth annual 12 Days of Christmas specials. So if you have a Christmas episode that you really, really like, and are a fellow podcaster in our community, let us know, and we might consider doing it for that. If you
welcome repeat guests, we certainly welcome new guests.
Mm-hmm. And if you're a fan of the show and you have something, throw it at us, because this year's is a little shorter centric right now, and if you have something that you really, really want us to watch, maybe we can try and find it. That being said, in a few weeks, we'll be doing Podcast of Horror 4, which we haven't decided on the format for yet. You look forward to that.
Which means that by the time of our 4th anniversary, we'll have done 48 holiday episodes, which is about a quarter as many regular episodes as we produce.
True. Technically, because you're listening to episode 173 by numerical order, but we've done 36 holiday episodes that are holiday specials that are not considered in the episode order, and one extra special if you can look and find that one. So it's 173 plus 37, which would be 210 episodes so far.
Dang.
Yeah, wow. Isn't that cool?
Who died this week? I feel like we're supposed to talk about someone who died.
Michael Gambon just perished.
Michael Gambon has passed. There was someone else earlier in the week.
I just come off of watching Cheers for the last 2 weeks straight.
Oh, David McCallum from NCIS, Ducky, yes. The medical examiner. Yeah.
And he relates to the 90s?
No, just that he died this week. I mean, he was active in the 90s, so that still counts. But, rip to the max.
Ducky McCallum. Yes, rip to the max. Was he in anything in the 90s? Oh, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. No, not the 90s. That was the 60s.
Same difference, really. I mean, if you just turn the 6 upside down.
Yes. Floundering. Batman Gotham Knight as Alfred Pennyworth. That was 2008, and that was a voice role. Anyway. What great podcasters. We've really honed the craft. Mm-hmm. Let's summon Furbdon. I think it's time for another boot or reboot.
Compare the 1996 Scream with the 2002 reboot. Evaluate aspects like plot, character development, cinematography, scares, and their influence on the horror genre. State your preference to justify it with specific examples from both films.
2022. I think Furbdon's broken.
2022. What?
He said, Furbdon said 2002. I think we need to replace his batteries or something.
Yeah, he might just be a piece of rogue AI these days. Hopefully he won't make it past Christmas.
All right. So let's look at these trailers.
Yeah. Here we go. Share sound and on it. Still there?
I'm here. It's
All right.
there.
You ready?
Miramax.
Let's do it. Classic scene.
Hello?
Hello.
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
What's
Okay.
I'll show you yours if you show me mine. Wait, what?
Classic.
I'll show me you.
What?
I'll show yours if you show me. I'll show you mine if you'll show me yours. Wow. I could not get that out.
Was a thing you said. Drew Barrymore, if you couldn't tell. This is the...
Boo,
I believe this,
scab. Anyway.
oh, yeah. I believe this is the opening scene. She just really wanted to touch people again. Touch people's lives again.
that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
You're making...
I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Why is she just responding to this guy?
You like
It was the 90s, a random call.
What are you
never
doing?
told me
Make
your
Why
popcorn.
do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
Ooh, spooky. Have you seen this?
Oh,
Someone is playing a deadly
oh
game.
yes. The voiceover guy.
The voiceover guy, yeah. What
Is
was
that
his
Al
name again?
Chalk?
Al Chalk.
I think he's one of them.
All right.
It all began with a scream over 911.
Someone who's seen one too many scary movies. Now he
So
takes
good.
his
Love
of
Hewitt.
fear
No, it's not. It's Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell.
They look the same.
one step too far.
Is she a
One
part?
step too far.
Is she a part of the list of people that are like? They are all the same person, like Jodie Foster.
Yeah, I mean, Nev Campbell and Jennifer Love Hewitt could be mistaken, but I don't think there's a third one.
Well, Nev Campbell and Jennifer Love Hewitt were on Party of Five together.
Weren't they both also in Scream?
No, Jennifer Love Hewitt was. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Well, that's probably why the confusion.
Fair, around the same time.
They're all the same.
Okay.
Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs and supposed to be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Sorry, so okay, we both laughed because, well, at least
The
I
90s nipple through the sweater shot.
on Rose McGowan.
Yeah, seeing nipples through shirts was like the rage in the 90s.
It was so forbidden. But like the thing I love about the old Scream, I'll try to defend it a little bit later. But the thing I love about the original Scream and I guess subsequent films is that it's a meta horror film. So they're aware of the tropes and they do it. And I know you have an opinion on if do they get away with it because they're aware of it.
Yeah, I get you. I see what you mean.
That might come and factor in later.
Rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie. Number 1, you can never have sex. Never, ever.
So that's Jamie Kennedy of the Jamie Kennedy experiment or whatever.
Project?
Project. Yes. Was it Project? I thought it was
Never, under
experiment.
any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back. You get another beer, you want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back.
And that was
He didn't make
Shaggy.
the rules.
The police are always off track. If they watch prom night, they save time.
He just kills by them.
he
Don't
just
answer the phone.
Don't
Oh
answer
my
the
God.
phone.
Open the door. Don't try to hide.
Did she just slide across a disgusting high school bathroom?
Yeah,
Floor?
that's the real horror.
Yes. And then the guy that plays Shaggy, he's in this.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard, yes.
Everybody's a suspect.
Zoinks.
The last word in
Scream.
If it weren't for those meddling kids.
right?
Scream. God, that guy had the best voice.
Well, it's okay. And then stop share. Just a
In
little
a
bit
world.
about where's the stop share? Oh, there it is. Just a quick word about Scream. It is a 1996 American slasher film. It's directed by Wes Craven. And it stars David Arquette, Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, excuse me, and Drew Barrymore.
Whoa.
and it's set in a small American town of Woodsboro. Scream's plot follows high school student Sydney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, and her friends who, on the anniversary of her mom's murder, become the targets of a costumed serial killer known as Ghostface. Scream is now regarded as one of the greatest horror and slasher films ever made. It has been credited with rekindling interest in the horror genre during the 90s, following the decline in the genre's popularity. It has remained influential as Barrymore's involvement helped make participating in horror films more acceptable to prominent actors and increased horror films' appeal with the younger audiences. The success of the film launched the multimedia franchise, which comprises of the sequels Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 2022, and Scream 6 2023, as well as an anthology television series.
Which no one watched.
Right. Well, I don't know. I think they canceled it so that they could do Scream 5 and 6.
Basically, a low-budget stabist goes around killing blonde chicks.
It was on MTV.
White chicks.
It was an anthology. I think they were trying to go off of like the popularity of what's that other one called? The Experience Music Project. No.
The Blair Witch Project.
American Horror Story.
American Horror Story.
Yeah. Why
does every season of American Horror Story have Lady Gaga in it? I feel like that's a thing. Okay, look, one.
No, I think
the current one.
She's in the later seasons.
Yeah.
It's an anthology series.
The horror that is that weird dove she had on her sweater at inauguration, or what was that? Like golden bird.
Sorry, bird is the worst going through my head right now.
All right, let me just pull up a picture of the Lady Gaga bird. Yes, thank you.
I said, ooh, mau, mau, chicka, ooh, mau, mau, mau.
Yeah, it's a dove. Or a dove, if you pronounce it correctly.
Oh, so Prince pronounced it wrong.
That's
when
what it sounds like.
Cry.
When doves cry. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 okay, I'm sending you the picture of the dove.
Okay.
Anyway,
I am looking at the picture of the dove.
She's on People. She's in People magazine because she is in fact a person.
And if I remember to put it into the episode, you can just find that at
youtube.com/namely90s.
90s. It is a peace dove, which is on, I want to say, the dollar bill. All right. And now we're going to look at Scream 2. By the way, this is Boot or Reboot. If you don't remember what Boot or Reboot is, it's the game where we make Andrew watch two trailers, one of a 90s film and one of its technical reboot. It's Reboot from later down the line. And we force Andrew at gunpoint to decide which one he would actually watch.
Or a knife point in this case.
Oh, yes.
It's also Scream. 2022.
Yes. So
Number 5.
Here's Scream 2022.
In a world. No, I'm just kidding. The fact that there's still a cordless phone seems stupid.
The fact that the thing just froze on me.
Okay, they're acknowledging the landline thing.
And why are they texting? Or, I mean, just like in the trailer. I guess this is...
Yeah, also,
trailers are a visual medium, I'm sure.
This isn't like... Clearly, this is like a knockoff Apple Messenger, but not the right one.
Right. Well, you know...
This isn't funny, Amber.
Would you like to play a game, Tara?
Wasn't you like to play games? Isn't that from Saw?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, this is a...
the game he's referring to is Gin Rummy, actually.
Well,
Doors unlocked.
Ooh, that's a bad choice.
All doors locked.
Yeah, the old smart home. This is the manifest of the Chinese coming in. Oh my God.
Did you jump?
A little bit, slightly.
He came from behind.
I bet he's... Okay.
Well, just the smart lock thing, if you're home, wouldn't you put like an additional deadbolt or something?
You'd think.
Okay. And there's Ghostface. And they're about to kill, was that Jenna Ortega?
Hello?
What's happening? 3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Badass. Or something.
Something about this one.
How do you carry a gun in your yoga pants?
I know who you are.
I've been through.
Wait, so they killed off Jenna Ortega? I guess this was pre-Wednesday, so she wasn't that popular yet.
Also, when Neve Campbell comes in and she goes, I know who you are, I'm just like, well, you probably actually don't at that age.
Yes. 10 years older than we are.
A lot. This is your life now, which means that whoever this is going to keep coming for you.
Wow, new cast of angsty teens. How fun.
You ready?
And Courtney Cox.
But they're not whitewashed. Why does Courtney Cox look like Cher?
Because she had all that facial Botox and surgery, and now her...
I mean, for her age, she's got to be 68. No, just kidding. I'm sorry.
How old is she? She's 50-something.
Oh, no. You can't kill a guy in a wheelchair. Come on.
Just as he's saying, there's certain rules.
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
That thing.
Whatever his link is to our...
Why do they all look like teenagers except for like the boyfriend that clearly looks like he's 20-something?
Past?
Or 30-something.
Pulled us all back here. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Oh my god! Whoa, he just snapped that person's shin.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed is like everyone seems to have a pistol. Like I feel like this warrants like a sawed-off shotgun. You know, it is just like a more apt weapon to get this guy.
Well, I mean, if you spoiler, well, is it bad if I spoil the ending of the first film? You should already know the ending of the first film, right?
I don't see enough sawed-off shotguns on TV anymore.
They're pistols. They're pistols.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
Oh, the 5 is part of the M. Anyway, let me stop the screen share for you. And on that note, that was Scream with a V in the M. Nope.
AKA Scream.
Scream.
Screamv.
Is that how you pronounce the thing in the middle of another letter? It's like the A and the E when it's A. So yeah, Scream is in a 2022. I said 2022, right? American slasher film, yes. Directed by Matt Bettinelli
Alpin.
Tyler, is that Gillett or Gillet?
Gillett.
It's written by James Vanderbilt,
who I thought was James Vanderbeek just after reading.
Yes, same. And Guy Busick.
That just sounds like a low-rent Gary Busey. Are these real names?
Possibly not. It might be a part of the whole like meta joke of the franchise, but it's the 5th installment in the Scream film series. It's billed as a reboot of the film series. It's also a direct sequel to Scream 4, which came out in 2011. The first film in the series, not to be directed by Wes Craven, and following his death in 2015, ripped to the max. And
do you think Wes is his middle name and his first name is actually Richard? You can call his name with the doctor. Craven, Dick.
I thought you were going with the joke that every person that has a short name is like some form of Richard, like Dick, Rich. Yeah. No.
It was
Dick
a dick
Craven.
joke.
Yep. It stars Melissa Barrera, Kyle Gallner.
Who?
Melissa Barrera.
Who?
Right. Thank you. Mason Gooding, Mikey Madison, Dylan Minette, Jenna Ortega.
Who?
You know who Jenna Ortega is. Jack Quaid.
There we go.
Yes. How do you know Jack Quaid?
I don't know the last name. That's the only thing it reminds me of anything.
Are they related? Is he son?
I feel like they are related.
Jack Quaid plays Lieutenant Boimler, Lieutenant Junior Grade Boimler on Lower Decks. He's the voice of that character. On
he is
Star
the
Trek
son
Lower
of
Decks.
actors Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid.
Mm-hmm. That's why he looks like that. Jasmine Savoy Brown and Sonia Amar with Marley Shelton, Skeet Ulrich,
Samuel L. Jackson,
Roger L. Jackson, Heather Matrazo, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and Nev Campbell. Skeet Ulrich he was in the first one and then wasn't in the other ones.
I also read Jasmine as Jasmine Savory Brown until I reread it like 3 times.
Right. They all reprise their roles to the previous installments. The plot takes place 25 years after the original Woodsboro murders from Scream, when yet another Ghostface appears and begins targeting a group of teenagers who are somehow linked to the original killings. The Scream was released in January 14th, 2022 by Paramount. It received generally positive reviews from critics who praised the direction, performances, and the tribute to Craven, with some calling it the best Scream sequel. It was also a box office success, grossing over $138 million against a production budget of $24. A sequel, Scream 6, was released in March of 2023. So do you have any questions about either film?
I do think it's interesting that like it grossed 1/10 of what Barbie grossed. That's insane.
Well, weren't we still in quarantine at this point?
Yeah, but I mean, still, that's insane.
Fair.
Just that a movie can even 10x it, you know?
Yes.
Let's see. Any questions?
And keep in mind, I can only answer plot related things to the first film.
I don't think I have any questions. I don't think any answers to any questions would help me make a decision here.
Okay, so I guess it comes down to Andrew, boot or reboot?
Well, this reboot seems legitimately scarier. You know, like it seems like it's less tongue in cheek and more actual horror.
There's no 90s kids, Jamie Kennedy being like, the virgin dies first, man.
Somehow the acting feels worse, like more forced.
Right.
And like it takes itself a little too seriously.
There might have been a pandemic when they were filming.
No, I know it takes itself a little too seriously. And it once again suffers from that thing where like, there's a whole list of names of new people, and like the most famous person is Jack Quaid. Like that just to me, it's like
Jenna Ortega, but she dies like Drew Barrymore.
It's like, let's just give you these random people, and you're supposed to like them as much as you like the original cast. True. It never works.
And none of them looked, other than Jack Quaid and Jenna Ortega, none of them looked as charming as the original cast did.
Yeah, but very multicultural, which is a nice change. Ooh. Boy, but if I had to watch one today, which one would I choose?
Yes. Just being as it's spooky season, which one would you?
Gosh, I think I'd have to go with the original.
All right. You went with the boot. Is this? I feel like, because the first time you picked the original, I think
it was that Point Break.
Yeah, that was Point Break. I don't remember what happened the second time.
The second time I chose the new one, and it was the
I should have done my research on this.
It was Point Break's the only other one we did, isn't it?
No, we've done this twice.
No, I don't know.
Previously. Well, we'll look that up and maybe we'll bring it back another time. So Andrew's picked the original Scream, which I believe is the correct choice. But if you disagree or agree, let us know down in the comments below and or on social media at Namely90s with 90S.
And now let's go to Brandon for the Namely90s Minutes.
Welcome back to Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of the Simpsons season 35 premiere and the start of spooky season, we're looking back at my favorite Treehouse of Horror episode, Treehouse of Horror 5. Treehouse of Horror 5 is the 6th episode of the 6th season of The Simpsons, an animated sitcom originally conceived as animated shorts for the Tracy Ullman Show. The show stars the voices of the Grandpa from Hey Arnold as Homer, Grandpa Simpson, Barney, Krusty the Clown, Sideshow Mel, Groundskeeper Willie, Mayor Quimby, and Hans Moleman. The female pigeon in Dr. Dolittle as Marge, and the other women in the Bouvier family, including her sisters Patty and Selma. The second voice of Chucky Finster and Rugrats as Bart, Nelson, Ralph, Todd Flanders, and Maggie. Marlene from Dharma and Greg as Lisa. Victor from the American Godzilla movies as Mo, Chief Wiggum, Comic Book Guy, Snake, and formerly Apu, Carl, and Bumblebee Man. And finally, Derek Smalls from This Is Spinal Tap as Mr. Burns, Smithers, Principal Skinner, Ned Flanders, Reverend Lovejoy, and Kent Brockman, and formerly Dr. Hibbert. Treehouse of Horror 5 starts with Marge showing a classic Western because Congress has deemed the episode so scary that it can't be broadcast, and then Bart and Homer decide to show it anyway. The first story is The Shinning, based on a movie of a similar but legally distinct name. The Simpsons are employed as caretakers for Mr. Burns at a haunted lodge while it's closed for the winter. Groundskeeper Willie discovers that Bart has the Shinning and can read minds and send messages telepathically. The lack of cable TV and beer drives Homer crazy and murderous, so he tries to hunt down the rest of the family before they trap him in the pantry. He breaks out with the help of some ghouls, and then Bart summons Willie to help, who gets killed instantly after leaving his portable TV in the snow. Homer chases the rest of the family into the snow, but stops in his tracks when Lisa shows him the portable TV. They all become frozen stiff in the cold watching the TV, before Homer's impulse to kill comes back when the Tony Awards come on and no one can change the channel. The next segment is Time and Punishment, where Homer accidentally turns a broken toaster into a time machine while trying to repair it. He murders a butterfly in prehistoric times and then returns to his present, where Ned has created a toxically positive dystopia. After escaping re-education, he goes through a series of attempts to fix the present, but they result in a timeline where Bart and Lisa are giants, a timeline where he's rich, Patty and Selma are dead but no one knows what a donut is, and one where Willie tries to help Homer but is killed by a talking Maggie, voiced by Darth Vader. On his final trip back, he destroys the machine and is left with a normal version of his family, except they have lizard tongues. The final bit is Nightmare Cafeteria, where Principal Skinner and Lunch Lady Doris solve their overcrowded detention hall and terrible school lunches by cooking and serving the children sent to detention. Once their supply runs dry, they start sending all the children in the school to detention until it's just Bart, Lisa, and Milhouse left. Willie tries to help and is immediately killed. Then the kids fall into a giant food processor, causing Bart to awake from his dream with Marge in the room, who tells him that there's nothing to fear except for the fog that turns people inside out, which then seeps through the window and turns the family inside out. They then all perform One from a chorus line to end the show. And that's Treehouse of Horror 5 in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less.
And now back to the show.
Alrighty, let's bring back Furbdon for another random thing that he says.
Let's play a game where you guess whether a Treehouse of Horror segment is real or generated by me. I'll provide you with a brief description of each segment, and you have to guess if it's from an actual Treehouse of Horror episode or if I made it up. We'll have 10 questions in total. Are you ready to get started?
Pumped, dude. Pumped.
Hell yes. So this game is called Treehouse of Horror, or Horrible AI generated topic.
Okay.
I almost had it. Treehouse of Horror or Horrible Simpsons plot. Question number 1. Well, so do you get the idea of this game? We're going to go over Treehouse of Horrors. There's over, I think we're on 35 this year. And yeah, Simpsons Treehouse of Horror has 3 segments per treehouse. And I'm going to read you a segment, and you're going to tell me if it's part of Treehouse of Horror. Right. Do you want bonus points for which one?
Bonus points for
guessing which treehouse it was.
No, I'll never guess.
Okay. All right. Question 1. In this segment, the citizens of Springfield become addicted to a new reality TV show that turns them into mindless zombies. By the way, it's any of Treehouse of Horror, not just the 90s ones. Sorry.
This seems like a real one.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
All right, that is correct. This is from the episode Treehouse of Horror. Treehouse of Horror, I have to do Roman numeral 17, titled The Day the Earth Looked Stupid. All right, on to the next one. In this segment, Bart and Lisa discover a mysterious board game that brings the game's characters to life and wreaks havoc in Springfield. Is this real or is it AI generated?
Sounds like a bad ripoff of Jumanji.
Which is something that came out in the 90s.
Which the Simpsons are, I mean, they tend to do a sort of
topical,
quote unquote topical or, ripped from the headlines or entertainment sort of situation.
Absolutely they do.
I want to say that's real as well.
You are correct. This is from Treehouse of Horror 10, and the segment is titled "Life's a Glitch, Then You Die."
Ha! That's good.
Moving on, question 3. How are you doing at home? In this segment, Homer accidentally discovers a portal to a dimension filled with giant donuts, and donuts try to take over Springfield. Is this real or AI generated?
It seems more AI because the AI is connecting Homer and donuts, but I can't see any scenario in which the donuts would be considered a horror. Although,
yes, there's the one where he goes to hell and the donuts feed. I'm
going fake. AI.
All right. Unfortunately, that is incorrect. This is real. It's from Treehouse of Horror 6, titled Homer Cubed.
Okay.
And that's Homer to the third power. But you're still doing well. So I took this. I missed 1.
Okay.
And I will say you can miss 3.
Oh boy.
You're doing very well so far. And most of these are from the 90s ones, so you may have seen them.
Okay.
All right. Number 4. The Simpsons move into a haunted mansion and are terrorized by the ghost of a former resident.
Seems too generic. I'm going AI.
You are correct. This is an AI generated by Furbdon. This is a segment generated by Furbdon. It's not from a real Treehouse of Horror episode. So you are sitting pretty at 75%. 3 out of 4. You've missed 1 so far. Question 5. In this segment, Bart and Lisa discover a cursed mirror that creates evil doppelgangers of themselves.
This one, I believe, is real.
You are correct.
Ding.
This is from Treehouse of Horror 3, titled Dial Z for Zombies. Coming up next, question 6. In this segment, Homer buys a cursed monkey paw that grants him 3 wishes, but each wish comes true with unintended and tragic consequences. Is this Treehouse of Horror or horrible? AI. Horrible AI. Buzzwords.
It seems real.
Final answer?
Yes.
You are correct. This is from Treehouse of Horror 2. The segment is titled Monkey's Paw. Still going hot.
Yeah.
Question 7. In this segment, the Simpsons find themselves in a post-apocalyptic world where they must battle mutants to survive. Is this Treehouse of Horror or horrible AI?
Horrible AI.
You are correct. 6 out of 7. You're doing very well with this, Andrew. 3 left. You only need 1 to get our clear condition, but let's see if we can tie in the score. Question 8. In this segment, Homer accidentally travels back in time and alters the future, resulting in a dystopian world ruled by Mr. Burns.
Gosh, that sounds familiar. I think that's got to be real.
That is correct. This is from Treehouse of Horror 5, Time and Punishment. I believe the dystopian world was actually ruled by Ned Flanders, but maybe there was an additional one ruled by Mr. Burns. I haven't watched that one in a while. So you've gotten the win condition. You've gotten 7 out of 10 currently. Well, 7 out of 8. Last 2 are for fun. In this segment, the Simpsons move into a new house, only to discover that it's alive and trying to eat them. Is this real?
That sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. Is that because it's very similar to question number 3?
No. Oh, man. I already won, so.
You did, but I got 9 out of 10.
Say it's real.
Correct. It is from Treehouse of Horror 6, titled Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores.
Okay.
Doing well. One more to go. Question 10, final one. In this segment, Lisa accidentally creates a miniature civilization in a petri dish, but they soon turn against her and threaten to take over the world.
I think this gets so accurately into the nuances of Lisa's character that it has to be real.
Final answer?
Yes.
You're correct, sir. This is from Treehouse
Yes.
Horror 7, the Genesis tub. Fun fact, this is parodied in South Park in the episode Simpsons Did It.
So you could say that Lisa Simpson is the tub girl? No.
No, the miniature civilization. This is the one where Cartman sucks the white goo out of had to close his eyes to suck the semen out of a fire hose.
We met Clue goo, or
yeah.
I have a raging clue right now.
It's not that episode. No, it's
I know.
It's the sea people. They think seamen and sea people are the same thing.
Yeah.
So they mix them together, and well, that was Treehouse of Horror or Horrible AI. Andrew got 9 out of 10. This is one of his best rounds of anything ever.
Indeed.
Maybe because an AI wrote this. But like I said earlier, I got one wrong when I took this, so we tied. Not that it was a competition like that. But it was a reason for us to plug the upcoming podcast of Horror 4. We haven't quite ironed out the details, but I believe we're going to be picking horror episodes of television, possibly Halloween episodes of television.
Yeah.
And doing it like the first year we did it. So if you have any thoughts for which ones we should share with each other, comments below or let us know on our socials. And anything else for this week, Andrew?
No, I think that does it.
All right. You are correct. That's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Join us next week for a deep dive into Dr. Fraser Crane. Find us on Instagram and YouTube at 9090s with a 90s. And if you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/@namely90s. Also with a 90s. Finally, you can also contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Scream, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon, that's Andrew, and we will catch you next time.
Imagine a brothel in a treehouse and you call it the Treehouse of Horror.